For the past 2 nights, we've been bringing you stories of harassment on Capitol Hill, and the news about Senator Al Franken today underscores the importance of our reporting. Tonight, another woman joins us to speak about her experience. She claims a former congressman asked her to perform for him. At the time, she knew nothing of the congressional office set up to deal with incidents like this. But she's joining us now. Rebecca WEIR is making these accusations, and we're also joined by attorney Les Alderman, who's been litigating cases under this Congressional Accountability Act for the past 15 years. Les and Rebecca, good to see both of you. Rebecca, let's start with you. Tell us your story. And it happened quite a while ago, in 2000, I believe, but tell us the facts.
Yes. So I was right out of college. I was eager to get my first job. I was a government major, and so I knew I wanted to work in public service. I found Congressman Miller's office. It was a great fit. Was eager to work there. Was proud to work there. I loved working there, and I excelled at my job while I was there. The member was in D.C. He was coming back for the August recess, and I was eager to talk to him because I've been working on a proposal for several weeks before he had returned to the district. So I went to his office to give the presentation. As I was walking out after the presentation was over, he stopped me and he said, "Wow, Rebecca, you just look amazing. I mean, just really stunning. Would you mind just twirling for me?" And I was wearing a dress suit at the time, and I was stunned. I didn't know what to do. I was a 22-year-old, inexperienced, and this was a member that I respected, and he was doing really great work in Congress, and I didn't know what else to do but to comply with his request.
So he asked you. So just let me paint the picture for our listeners. He asked you in the hallway?
No, this was in his office.
At his office to twirl, okay.
Yeah, this was in his office.
Who even says something like so stupid? So what you say? He said, "Look, you look amazing, look great. Twirl." I mean, that's just an odd thing to say, first of all. And so you're 22, and so you twirl fast, slow. How'd you twirl? What was the twirl? What was the twirl like?
I'm sure it was fast because I was so humiliated by the experience. You know, I was very aware of the fact that in just a few seconds I had gone from young professional to a piece of meat, and I felt like he was undressing me with his eyes. And I tried to leave as fast as I could. I went back to my desk. I sat down. I tried to regroup. And while I was trying to make heads or tails of the situation, I got a phone call from our D.C. office informing me, "Congratulations, Rebecca. We don't know what you did, but Gary just called and he wants to give you a bonus effective immediately." And it gutted me at the time because I knew exactly what I had done. I twirled for him. I let myself be reduced to essentially a piece of meat. And now that what did you say? I'm sorry to interrupt. We got to get to Les, but Sure.
Before we get to Les, Rebecca, did you take the bonus?
You know, I really grappled with this, and I really hated that I was in the situation of having to choose between my economic stability and my integrity. But I was 22 years old. I didn't have a choice. I was fresh out of college.
I'm not criticizing you. I'm not criticizing you. I think this is it's so outrageous that this happens on Capitol Hill. But I want to get into.
And it's not unique.
Here. Yeah. Yeah, well, no, we're finding out it's all too common, and there's a lot worse than twirling going on as well.
Yes.
Les, I want to get into this with you. You litigate these cases. They can be as quick of an encounter as a leer and a twirl, I guess, or something much more involved.
And they can
How many people have come to you over the past 15 years and allege these types of incidents?
You know, we don't keep the numbers for harassment versus discrimination versus retaliation, but I can tell you that numerous women have come forward, not only at who work in Congress, but who work in other areas of Capitol Hill, the architect of the Capitol, the Library of Congress, the Supreme Court, the Capitol Police. This is happening in all of these places. And what I can say is, right now, when all of these brave women are coming forward and we're shining this spotlight on what's happening, this is when we have to do something to fix the situation, to make it better, because I'm sorry, but 4 weeks from now, the news cycle is going to move on. We're going to be on the next crisis or the next story, and no one's going to care anymore. So we need to fix this situation now. We need to strengthen the law now. We need to expand the protections to these unpaid interns, these fellows, who currently are not covered by the law. We need to remove that confidentiality provision so that women don't have to fear speaking out about their cases and about their claims. We have to make sure that everyone who's working on the Hill understands that if they think that they may be discriminated against or they may be being harassed, that there is a place for them to go, that they have rights, that they can ultimately file a lawsuit and let the bright light of litigation bring their cases forward. And that's, unfortunately, it's not happening.
I want to get back. Okay, I want to get back to Rebecca. Do you know other women during the time that you worked on the Hill who experienced something like what you experienced or worse? And how many? Approximately.
Yes, of course. I hate to say this, but almost all of us had our own stories. That's how pervasive this culture of harassment is. This is the quintessential old boys club. It has probably been this way since its inception, given the power dynamics at play. And it has, as Les was just talking about, there is no check. There is no accountability. There's no reason that anyone would avoid these kinds of behaviors. It's totally unaccountable.
So and Rebecca, your congressman was Congressman Malloy. I couldn't hear
Congressman
that.
Gary Miller. Congressman Gary Miller.
Miller. Okay, Miller. Yeah. Gary Miller. But you're still friends with him, though, aren't you? You respect him still?
Yes, I do, and I'm glad that you asked that question. You know, he's a good man, and good men sometimes act badly, and I think that's the case here. My motivation in coming forward is not to grind an axe, a 15-year-old vendetta. I am motivated to help empower women who are coming after me, the 22-year-olds of today who are working on the Hill, to help them speak in the moment, to help them know they're important and that they can come out and they have options available to them.
And if I may say, it's incredibly brave of you to be,
yeah, and it's really incredible of you to be friends with him. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, that says a lot about you. I mean, you look past that, but a lot of people have gone through a lot of bad stuff on Capitol Hill, and I want the people's names. I don't want the confidentiality. I want all the names, because the settlements are paid, but we don't know who the names are, and that is outrageous. Both of you, thank you for joining us.